Hello everybody, San here, engineer, MBA, and investor. And today's video, I want to talk about this article on Forbes on Intellia Therapeutics, specifically looking at the company and CEO of Intellia, John Leonard. We'll talk about all of that in this video, so let's jump right into it. So this article here titled as Gene Genies Inside the Revolutionary Biotech that can edit DNA inside living humans, right? So obviously Forbes, I know most of you, if not all of you, know about Forbes. So this is no joke of a publisher there. John Leonard built Intellia Therapeutics with Jennifer Doudna, the Nobel Prize winner scientist who pioneered genome editing technology. The company has figured out how to alter disease-causing genes inside patients, obviously referencing to the in vivo approach. But before any breakthroughs treatment come, it must first cure itself of its legal and financial ills. And obviously this is a reference to the court battle between the West and East in US. That is, of course, Doudna's team versus the Broad Institute when it comes to who discovered CRISPR in humans first, right, in human cells. John Leonard, CEO, has just finished an hour-long meeting with the company's Cambridge headquarters, which is a 5-minute drive from the MIT campus. Okay, so now they're going through some personal... They always start articles like that. They go over the guy's personal life, like whatever they're doing. But anyway, skipping through this here. Let's take a look here. In the last 12 months, it's lost $277 million on revenues of $33 million. Okay, so maybe that's what they meant by financial ill in the title. Revenues have been declining on a quarterly basis since 2020, with loss have been widening. So again, when you're at this stage in the CRISPR landscape or just in any biotech company, you're supposed to have losses that are widening over time because you hire more headcount. You basically expand on your programs and things get more expensive. And of course, there's a whole inflation portion that I think everybody just forgets, right? And on top of that, your revenues is going to be unstable, right? Maybe for the 2020, you got huge deals. Maybe in 2023 will be the next time you get another $500 to $1 billion, deal, right? Who knows, right? Again, it's not stable in terms of revenue. So again, this article fails to realize that. Intellia does have one promising drug in early clinical stage, but around 90% of this at this stage failed to reach market. Okay. At the present burn, it will last only a couple of years. That's actually a lot of years, but okay. Let's keep going. Okay, so at the time of the stock and the whole stock market crash, it's not really worth pointing this out. Obviously, going over the Leonard's history there. Okay, and they're talking about the Intellia 2001 program, which we recently got amazing data on. The market for treating the disease was $585 million in 2019. Again, with inflation and so on, this number has gone up. Better diagnosis could lead this to become a $14 billion market within 7 years. That's pretty bullish there. There are currently 3 FDA-approved drugs which slow the progress of the disease, but none are permanent cure. So obviously, Intellia 2001 is a permanent one-time cure. Inject in the liver. It's a one and done. Right, so then they go over the patents battle here, how in over 80 countries, including China, Japan, and 27 nations, the European Union has held that Doudna's CVC group invented it first. But in the US, especially with the recent verdict, they have given this and favored to Broad Institute, Dr. Zhang and the team. And of course, the CVC group is appealing, so this is going to go a few more years until maybe they potentially partner up and end this, but who knows? But we did hear from the CEO in the past, I think maybe a week after this verdict was brought up. I think we heard the CEO and the company said that it will not affect them with Intellia 2001 and so on. But clearly this article begs for otherwise, and I agree with this. Of course it's going to affect it, right? If you didn't affect it, then why are you appealing, right? If it did not affect it, why are you appealing? Clearly it is affecting in some sense. But I think most experts in this field, including myself, I'm not an expert, but I am a participant of this space. I think both sides will come up with an agreement. Now, who gets the better end of that deal? That is, I guess, the question, and the reason why this has been going for years and years, and why we think this is going to go for a few more years. So I think NTLA is obviously a great company, guys, to invest in. I've always mentioned that. Again, not financial advice, just education information. NTLA is one of those companies that has an amazing leadership. I mean, with the NTLA 2001 data that came in June 2021, so over a year ago, that shocked the world, put them at the leading market cap. Now, obviously, because of the whole market crash, things have gone sideways for most of these companies, but data has not changed in terms of positivity. If anything, I'm a lot more bullish on NTLA. Leonard is a CEO that I can really rally behind. I think everything I've heard the CEO say in interviews, including this one, everything seems to be very, very straightforward and on the ball. The only thing is I noticed that he's 64 years old. That I did not notice. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's crazy that, after 60 you can actually lead a company at that level. I find it really fascinating. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just maybe it's just me, but most people that I speak to over 60 or even 65, at that point, there's significant cognitive decline, right? They're slower responding, tasks go slower, things go just slower. It's hard to see them leading a company that's trying to change the world, right? But that's just my food for thought, guys. I'm not saying that Leonard is not a good CEO because he's 64. Absolutely not. I'm just saying what I've seen in my own experience there in the work life, and I'm sure some of you will attest to that. I mean, we can make the argument about President Biden being like almost 80 years old and leading the most important country in terms of financials and politicals, right? But that's of course another topic for another day. So we'll end this video like this. Interesting article for Forbes. I really appreciate that Forbes brought up this article because, one, it talks about CRISPR. 2, it talks about NTLA, and 3, it sort of talks about the history and current status of NTLA 2001 and other programs that this company is talking about. And of course, Forbes is a big player in the media game. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Like this video if you have value, subscribe if you're not, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So hopefully you guys have a beautiful Friday and a beautiful weekend. Thank you.